What's going on, Vikings fans? Welcome into Vikings Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Patrick Siepman. And coming up on today's show, the Minnesota Vikings are in big trouble this Sunday unless they do this. I'll tell you what that is here in a second. But also, second half of today's show, I just want to quickly talk about 5 changes that the Vikings need to make if they do want to go get a victory this upcoming Sunday. But before we do so, I do want to say thank you guys so much. We crossed over 60,000 subscribers last week, and we are on the road to 100,000 subs. We are 39,498 subs away. Obviously, we can't get that on today's show, but maybe we can hit 65,600. Just need 98 of you guys to hit that subscribe button. So if you guys could, get down below in the comment section and hit that subscribe button today. All right, let's talk about it. So this game, this upcoming Sunday, it's a massive one for this football team. If you want to, keep pace, in the division, this is 100% a must-win. But also, if you just want to keep pace in the wild card race, this is also a must-win game. So the Vikings will be in big trouble this Sunday if they don't dominate the trenches. And they got a great opportunity to do just that. We're going to start off offensively here. Jordan Mason should be the MVP on Sunday. When it's all said and done, and we're talking about the Vikings beat the Bengals because number 27 ran freaking wild. And that starts up front. It starts with dominating the trenches. And also, dominating the trenches also means being the more physical football team. You want to be the more physical football team? Get it to your most physical player. This guy runs people over. He falls forward. He just leans on guys. And he's a problem to tackle. Like, I'm sure DBs, they're not thrilled when they see Jordan Mason hit the hole because of how physical this guy is. Now, I will say, the Bengals, even though their defense was one of the worst of all time last year, through 2 games, have actually stopped the run decently well. They're only giving up 94 rush yards per game, which is 10th in the league. If the Vikings only run for 94 yards this weekend, they will 100% lose this football game. So they're going to have to get downhill. And also with how shaky the offensive line plays been, well, how do you make the offensive lineman happy? You run the football. You allow these guys to get downhill. Because obviously when you are, in pass protection a whole lot, and you're just, especially the way Kevin O'Connell calls the shots, where it's just these deep, long, developing plays, like they got to hold up for 3, 4, 5 seconds, puts the spotlight on them. But if you want to get their confidence, you want to get their swagger going a little bit, turn around and just say, the 5 men up front, Jordan Mason, we are relying on you guys for maybe it's like a whole drive. You just say, we're just running the football every single play. Doesn't matter what happens. But I think the Vikings need to almost just overcorrect. Where the last couple of weeks, the last couple of years under Kevin O'Connell, they have not done that. Now on defensively. The defensive line needs to impress this weekend. Put a lot of money up there, or you put a lot of money there this past free agency cycle, getting Jonathan Allen, getting Javon Hargrave. You paid Grenard and Van Ginkel the offseason before, so you got a lot of talent. You got a lot of equity up there, and they should dominate. And Browning, he should be under duress all day because this Bengals team, they're the worst rushing offense in the NFL right now. They're only average, I think, 47 rush yards per game. So it means a lot of third and longs. You got the crowd noise. You got Brian Flores. So Hargrave, Allen, Dallas Turner, if you're in there, Van Ginkel is hopefully back. They should all wreck, but mainly one guy. Jonathan Grenard needs to dominate. This guy is too damn good to not have a game-wrecking game here soon. He has been getting so close over the last couple of weeks. He is still at the top of the league in total pressures, but he hasn't been fully getting home to the quarterback. So 58, he's going to have a big-time performance. That's going to set the tone as well. And the Bengals' offensive line at the end of the day just can't hang with the Vikings' defensive line. Like, this has to be personal, too. Like, Hargrave, Allen, Van Ginkel, Grenard, you guys are a bunch of blue chippers. You guys are some fantastic football players. You should be almost ticked off if the Bengals are going to try to sit back, throw the football a lot this weekend, make them pay for it. So I think the defensive line, they're going to have a great performance, but still, dominating the trenches, to me, starts with Jordan Mason. I'll ask you guys this. Place your bets for Jordan Mason this weekend. Over, under, 70.5 rushing yards. Give me an O for over. Give me a U for under. You guys let me know your thoughts. I am hammering the over here. I think he's going to do it. So you guys let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. I think also, if this is going to hit, this over is going to hit, probably comes down to Kevin O'Connell. Can he stay committed to run? We'll see if that happens this weekend. All right, coming up next, I do want to discuss 5 changes I think the Vikings need to make heading into this Week 3 matchup. But before we do so, today's episode is brought to you guys by PrizePicks. Now, you and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. So don't miss on any of the excitement this season on PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. If you guys download the PrizePicks app today, plug in promo code CLNS. We'll hook you guys up with $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. On PrizePicks, it's super simple to play. All you got to do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. And if you get your picks right, you could cash in. PrizePicks is also super user-friendly, where all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. And they also offer Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. Now, they do these max discount plays every single week, and this week, for week 3, it is Patrick Mahomes, where one Patrick Mahomes passing yard will get you one win on PrizePicks. So make sure you guys include this into all of your lineups, and just download the PrizePicks app today. Plug in promo code CLNS, get $50 in the lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. But shout out to PrizePicks for sponsoring today's show. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. All right, let's talk about 5 changes the Vikings need to make heading into this Week 3 matchup against the Bengals. A lot's been going wrong. It hasn't been smooth. None of us thought the season was going to start like this, but here we are. And the number one thing, it is the most obvious thing. Everybody knows this. Everybody's talking about it. The Vikings need to add a quick pass game. And especially with how bad this offensive line has played, you have to make the life of Carson Wentz a whole lot easier. Because if you just say, hey, Wentz, who does have a big arm, I'm sure Kevin O'Connell, is just fiending to push the ball down the field with Carson Wentz. But you got to get him, some easy looks early. And I'm not saying you should just go away from Kevin O'Connell's bread and butter of pushing the ball down the field. Just ease Wentz into this, get him some quick passing game, concepts going. And, what's so concerning is the Vikings have only ran 3 quick game concepts this entire season. Now, a quick game concept is when all routes on the field are ran from under 7 yards. So just think about if, team's going 5 wide, they're just running 5 hitches. The Vikings have only ran that 3 times this season. But it's not just this season. It's been under the Kevin O'Connell era. And this was coming in from Alec Lewis saying perhaps the most telling is that the Vikings ranked 32nd in quick game attempts per game since the beginning of 2023. 2.7 per game. And they are first in deep drop plays per game at 30.7. We know what Kevin O'Connell's about. He wants to push the ball down the field. He wants these deep, long crossers, these deep, long corners, deep, long post routes. He just needs to adjust. He has a great offensive scheme. But when you kind of put one hand behind his back, he does struggle to adjust. But I think he will this weekend. And also, you got to stop the run. Now, obviously, against the Bengals, they are not a good rushing offense. They have a poor offensive line. Chase Brown is a fine running back, but Chase Brown's no Bijan Robinson. And the Vikings got gashed last week. The Falcons ran for 218 yards. I understand you're on the football field a lot. I understand the offense was doing you no favors. That can't happen. You're just better than it also. 39 carries, 218 yards, 5.6 yards per clip. And I think the most concerning part of this stat graphic you guys are seeing, the longest run was only 25 yards. If the longest run was like 80, 85, and Bijan housed one, and that's why they got up to 218, maybe I could chalk it up as, the other majority of the time you're, playing pretty solid, but they were just gashing you all night long. So you got to stop the run this weekend. That's number 2 for me. And then number 3, take a shot to Nailor. How about you let Speedy get involved a little bit? Because this guy, even though we were all down on him during the preseason, during training camp, he had that injury. He's actually looked pretty damn good for the Vikings. And check out this stat for our guy Speedy here. Wide receiver average separation score. Matthew Golden is actually number 1 in the NFL right now at 0.4. But Jalen Nailor is number 2 at 0.367. Justin Jefferson's actually number 6 on this list. But Devontae Adams 3, Romeo 4, Marvin Mims 5. Like clearly Nailor is doing enough to get open. Let's try to take a deep shot to him. Obviously Carson Wentz can uncork that football and take the top off the defense. So don't be shocked if you see a little Speedy Nailor 30-yard bomb, which we saw. 7 touchdowns last year. I'd probably say 5 of those from 20-plus yards. See if we can get involved this weekend and get Speedy in the paint. But also this. Stop getting cute. Kevin O'Connell, again, this all goes back to that coach. He has gotten cute in big-time spots notoriously since being the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. And I swear to God, if the Vikings have the ball at the 2-yard line, 1st and goal again, and they don't run it 4 times, I'm going to lose my mind. That stretch of plays was so concerning is that JJ has 2 big time throws. He gets you down to the 2-yard line, and then you try to go, fake pitch out, try to have these long developing plays. Just stop overcomplicating it, turn around, hand it off to Jordan Mason 4 times this weekend. And also, I hate calling out a guy like Miles Price like this, but he also just didn't look good. He got too cute last week. I don't know if he thought he was Devin Hester back there after he had a great performance week 1 against the Bears, but he was trying to dance too much. He just wasn't getting the most out of every return, and the Vikings were starting off these offensive possessions at like the 19, 20-yard line. We just let it go out the back of the end zone. You're starting at the 35. Just take what you can. Can't get too cute. And also KOC, he's got to be better for the first 15 plays. It's a little concerning that to start this season, the scripted plays have not gone well at all for the Vikings. We started off both games with 3 and outs. And honestly, the last 4 games, KOC has struggled with the first 15 scripted plays. Like, you think about the Lions game, week 18. It took so long for the offense to get going. Obviously, in the playoff game, couldn't do anything offensively in the first half. And then the 2 games to start this season, more of the same. So even though shaky offensive line play, backup quarterback, these elite offensive play callers in the league, whether it's McVay, LaFleur, Shanahan, they at least do something on the first 15 scripted plays. So I'll have my eyes on that this weekend, but hopefully he'll be better there because he hasn't been over the last 4 games. But if you guys made it to the end of today's show, appreciate all of you guys watching. If you guys could, hit me with a skull down below in the comment section. Also, hit me up on Twitter if you guys haven't already, at Pat Sieps is the Twitter handle. And we'll see you guys next time. As always, Skull Vikes.